Good evening. We have breaking news tonight. The U.S. Department of Labor is intensifying its efforts to combat child labor violations across the nation. In collaboration with federal and state agencies, the department is taking aggressive action against child labor exploitation. These efforts include unannounced inspections, audits, fines, and legal actions targeting employers who hire minors for hazardous jobs. For more on this story, we move to Alex in our studio.
Thank you, Laura. A major development in the fight against child labor has emerged in the meat processing and sanitation industries. On January 13th, the U.S. Department of Labor secured a landmark agreement with one of the nation's largest meatpacking processors and slaughterhouses. As part of the settlement, the company will provide $4 million in restitution to assist those affected by child labor exploitation. According to Jessica Lumen, wage and hour administrator at the Department of Labor, under this agreement, the company has taken responsibility for children performing dangerous work at its facilities. They have proposed concrete and enforceable solutions to address these issues, setting the standard as a market leader in preventing illegal youth employment. Later in January, enforcement efforts expanded to Philadelphia. Another meat processing company, along with one of its staffing agencies, entered into an agreement to resolve child labor violations. Investigators found that minors were exposed to hazardous machinery, including electric knives and heat-sealing presses. Additionally, these employers violated federal labor laws by allowing children to work past 7 p.m. on school nights. All of these conditions violate the Fair Labor Standards Act's child labor hazardous orders and hours provisions. As part of the resolution, the company will pay $4 million in restitution and an additional $150,000 in civil penalties. Wage and hour administrator Jessica Lumen emphasized the department's commitment to using every available tool to address these violations. She stated, "Government, industry, workers, and advocates must come together to build solutions to the problem of exploitative child labor." In another significant case, in Chicago, the Department of Labor reached an agreement with a Tennessee-based cleaning contractor. Investigators found the company had employed minors for overnight sanitation shifts at 13 meat and poultry processing facilities, a direct violation of the Fair Labor Standards Act. Violations were found across multiple states, including Alabama, California, and Ohio. As a result, the company will pay $400,000 in civil penalties and must implement strict preventive measures moving forward. Solicitor of Labor Seema Nanda, who oversees the legal activities of the department and ensures that labor laws are enforced fairly and effectively, stated that the Department of Labor is determined to stop our nation's children from being endangered in jobs for which they should never be hired. Over to you, Laura.
On a more positive note, a strategic enforcement initiative in New Jersey found no child labor violations in the state's meatpacking industry. Conducted by the New Jersey Department of Labor and Workforce Development, in collaboration with the U.S. Department of Labor, the year-long investigation covered 9 major facilities, more than 10% of the state's meatpacking operations. These findings highlight the effectiveness of New Jersey's strong labor laws and reinforce the state's commitment to protecting young workers from exploitation. Thank you for following our child labor news coverage for the first quarter of 2025.